What's up, everyone? It's Matt Mrozik, aka MVM397, with work in progress number, is it 9 or 10? I can't remember. I think it's maybe 9. It's been a few days since I've done a video. I've done some stuff on Facebook, but I wanted to show you where I am. So I did my first attempt at leather, and I think it looks fucking awesome, if I should be so frank. I've done a lot of firsts on this kit. My first time doing blood. First time attempting a leather look. So a lot of learnings on this kit, which has been part of the fun, and that's kind of why I've been going so like hardcore on it. Because I'm just learning a lot of techniques, just kind of watching tutorials. The leather I figured out on my own. I was like, oh, I saw someone else paint this leather. Oh, I think a brown leather holster looked badass. So I started playing around with it, and this is what I came up with. So I'm going to show you how I did it. It's maybe quite a little long video, maybe half hour or so, but it's actually a pretty easy process once I figured it out. But I think it looks really, really good. I posted a few photos on Facebook earlier, and it was looking a little bright, and it needs some more highlighting. So I toned it down overall, and then I added some more highlights. But I'm really pleased with this look. So let me show you how I did that. So one of my new favorite tools that I've started using since I started doing figures are gouache watercolors, and these are just the brand name's Essentials. I got this set off of Amazon. I think I got let me see, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 1 22 23 24, like 25 26 colors. I think it was like $34. I bought a few tubes of the Winsor Newton gouache when my friend Floyd was here, and these are expensive. Like if you buy a tube of titanium white of Winsor Newton, it's like $30 for one tube. It's crazy expensive. So I went online and just did some like, you know, what's as good as Winsor Newton, and this brand kept coming up. And on Amazon, it's got like a 4 or 5 star rating, and you know what? I've never used gouache before, so for me, it's working perfectly for what the purposes I'm using, which is I've been using them for eyes, the leather look. Use it for the dry brushing on the Punisher and stuff. So let me show you how I got this look. So I'm going to do it the knife sheath in the same manner. I want to do that as leather. So these were base coated a long time ago with Garage Kits colors. Poon Black. I actually don't even know what that means. PUN 13 Black. My work area is a complete disaster right now because I was working on zombies the other night, and I was doing a lot of flicking of paint, and I flicked paint. I think I got more paint on my work surface than I did on the zombies, so next time I need to put something down. But there is paint everywhere, and I've got all my colors out for the zombies. I think I've got like 30 colors going on. It's just crazy. So I'm neck deep in this project. So, but I'm in the home stretch. So, whoops, sorry. Again, my awesome videography skills are coming into play. Sorry, let me get this set so it doesn't fall again. Sorry guys, I always tell people if you want high quality videos, watch someone else. My production value is very low. This is so frustrating. I've got my little table tri-top here. Tripod, but I don't know where the legs are, so I'm having to jerry rig this thing, and it's really frustrating. So give me a second here while I fumble around on camera as I normally do. Professional quality high-end stuff here, as you get motion sickness as you watch me do this. Okay, so anyway, here we go. Hopefully that'll stay. Anyway, so here's my awesome palette. Really pretty. The nice thing about these watercolors is that, so like I did the holster, I went away for a couple hours, I came back, and I can still use these colors if I want, because all I have to do is add water and they'll reactivate. But I'm going to show you from scratch how I started. So I started off with this black base, which actually works as a really good base coat for this technique I found out. And I started off with this Essentials. This is their color Burnt Umber, and I thought I had another brown somewhere in this set. Got some sienna. I may use burnt sienna, because that may have done what I tried to do earlier, where I was trying to get some red into it, which I did, and I just added red and mixed it with the brown. So I'm gonna start over here, make a new little palette of colors, and it doesn't matter where, because it's all messy. So I'm just gonna put a little bit here. And the first thing I did is I took a brush. This has been used. No, it's not a. I got some water over here. It's actually dirty water. I don't care, to be honest, for what I'm doing here. The more kind of colors I get going here, the better it looks. So I make sure I get most of the water off, and I add just the tiniest bit of water to this. I don't want this like watercolor. I want this more like the consistency of maybe an enamel paint. That's a little watery, but it'll start to dry here in a second, so it'll be okay. I may just add one little more bit because this first layer takes a little while to build up. So this is something I just kind of figured out on my own this evening. I was like, I want to do that in leather. How do I do that? I tried just kind of brushing it on, but I wasn't getting a leather look. It was just looking like brushed on paint. So I was like, well, I'm going to try stippling. And that was the key. That whole gun holster was all done with stippling. So I'm just going to start putting on some of this brown. And at first it's not going to show up. It's going to take a while to build up some color, but the holster's got a lot of depth in it. It really looks like worn leather. And I mean, this is not really, again, this is me just playing around, guys, and figuring stuff out, and there's no real science to this. So like this may not even be showing up too much in camera because when this dries it's really dark. I'm going to do the whole thing, even though I really don't see back here. I want to have the whole thing done. And you'll notice as I work that the paint will rub off of this handle because it hasn't been sealed yet. That's okay, because I'm going to do something else with that later. So I'm just going to lay down a base of this. I want to cover most of that black. And the great thing about the watercolors is they're really easy to blend together. I mean, even for a novice like me, for all these techniques, I'm finding using them is super, super forgiving. And it's really easy to fix your mistakes because you can just wipe it off with water. It comes right off. Now that is if you're using acrylic paint, you want to make sure it's been sealed with something. If you've worked with gouache or watercolors before, you'll know that if your surface that you're painting on is in a satin or a dull, that it'll just want to bead. The more water you add to it, it'll just bead. It actually won't stick to anything. It'll just want to run around because of the surface tension. So, like, I didn't seal this knife, but the finish on it was like a semi-gloss. So and I'm not putting a lot of water in here right now, so it's sticking really well. I'm gonna build that up, and you don't have to cover all the black really, because by the time we get done, it's gonna be all gone. I won't say all gone, but it just makes a nice base because I want a worn leather look. Just kind of, well used. Okay. So that's pretty good. I'm not sure if you can really see that, but it went from black to kind of brown. And I'm not worried about the texture. The texture actually really helps. It really gives it the sense of used leather. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, so I don't remember what I did last time. I really don't remember. It turned out well though. I believe I mixed, again, this is a lot of back and forth. So I had some of this orange going on. This is called orange red. I had some of this yellow, is this ochre? Yellow ochre going on. So you'll see, and this is what worked out really well with the holsters. I'll bring it up really pretty bright, and I'll go back and tone it down. And I got some of this crimson. I'm going to just keep using the same colors. This crimson red lake. Like that. I'm going to put another dab of my brown, my burnt umber. Like that. So now what I did, it's kind of mixed up a mid-tone. I believe I used a little bit of the orange, a little bit of the brown. I think I used a lot of orange. There we go. So you can see that in my palette. So it makes them this kind of burnt orange look. And then we're going to dab most of it off. So I got a paper towel here. It's all dirty. It's all full of, this is my paper towel I've been working on. The mess. It's okay. So we're going to get most of this off of the brush, because again, you don't want to cover up what you've done. You just want to add to it. So we're going to stipple this on. And we're just laying down the base right now. We're not worried about doing any highlighting or shadowing, really. It's one thing I've learned in doing these figures. It's all these techniques I can use when I do mechs too, which is really cool. And this just kind of automatically highlights it automatically, just because, you know, it's going to hit the high spots first. But what I've learned is that it's just all really just layers and layers upon layers, using a lot of light layers of colors. When I was working on my zombies last night, God, I don't know how many layers of paint on there, but you can see, I mean, I can see all the layers all the way back to when I first started, but there's probably 20 or 30 different transparent colors going on my zombies. But you see hints of every single color throughout the bodies, and they need a lot of work. They're just basically base coated right now. They need a wash to get down the details and stuff, and then I'm going to do some of this, not this, probably with the sponge though. I want to sponge on some texture. So we're going to bring this up a little bit. The orange and the burnt umber. And already it's starting to kind of feel like leather. So let's make it a little quicker than the holster, since I know what I did and I like the results. And I'm going to mix up a little bit of this yellow into there, into that same color. So I'm just adding the yellow ochre to the previous color that I just had, that burnt umber, and now it's giving me kind of like a mustard look. There's a little too much on there. And don't worry if you get too much on there. I found like, oh, I got a little too much on. Just go back with the darker color and just kind of stipple back. It's just another layer of depth that you'll get in the final results. So even though I'm not really trying to highlight or anything right now, it's just kind of naturally doing it because of this process. That, you know, your bristles are going to hit the top of all the high spots first. And so this goes in his back. I think it goes like this. No, it goes, sorry, it goes, so when it's on his back, the handle faces to the right. So this would be the top right here when it's on the kit. Okay, so now it's looking a little orange, so I want to add a little red to it. And the red is what I found out, which really kind of tied the last one together. I was looking, it's like, oh, it looks good, but there's something about it. It just need more red. The red really kind of tied it all together, it seemed. So that's why I'm thinking of this burnt sienna I have over here, burnt sienna, which has got a little maroon to it, would probably do the same thing as me just mixing up these two colors right now. So now we're gonna add a little red to it. I'm not sure this is showing up in camera, but it's starting to look pretty good. Probably got a little too much red going on, but I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back with the original brown, and that'll help blend this all together. Okay, so now it's looking a little red, so I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna get a little more of the brown. I'm actually going to add a hair touch of black, just the teeniest tiny. Black it goes a long way. I'm putting it on the other side of my palette so I can just grab what I want, which is basically just a little bit amount. And this will help kind of tie this all together. Again, we're going to go back and forth. So we're Bring it up, bringing it down, bringing it up, bringing it down, just back and forth, layer, layer, layer. Now what's really going to bring it home is the dry brushing and a little bit of shading I do. I have another brush over here, just a smaller flat brush. So this is that brown with a little bit of black in it. And this is going to kind of tone down the red. The red really warms it up. Got a little too, still only a little more brown in there. There we go. So I'm not sure this is showing up in camera, but so right now it's got the texture of leather. The color's a little off, it's a little red. I put a little too much red in that last layer. So I gotta bring it back a hair. And I probably won't get exactly the same as the gun holster. That's okay. I think I need some more of that orange and that yellow again. I'm just gonna get that tiniest amount of water because my watercolors are drying up. But see, I start mixing all these colors together and it just kind of, again, helps tie it all in. I get a little bit of the red, a little bit of the orange, a little bit of the yellow, a little bit of the brown. It's all kind of mixed up here. And this is probably a good like caramel color, good color of caramel. It's a good way to describe it with the color just mixed up. I put too much red on last time. That's what's bugging me, is too red. I should have done that a little bit later in the process, I think. Because now I'm having to tone the red down. The camera's starting to look like leather. Sorry, when I'm doing it, it focuses on the background, but you can kind of see there what it's doing. Okay, where's my brown? I got a little more brown to it. Oh, no, I think I want to do the yellow ochre. Actually, I have some out here, just kind of the straight yellow ochre. And you notice I really don't clean my brush. I just keep adding to it. The only time I dip my brush into the water is if I feel like my paints are getting too dry. The only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to dry brush this a little bit with that yellow ochre. Yeah, that's helping to tie it together a little bit. So right now I'm not just trying to hit the high spots. I'm actually hitting the whole the whole surface. It's getting there. It's still too red. I put too much red in earlier. Now I'm fighting it. It's bugging me. I could add a little blue to it to counter it, but I'm afraid then that's going to kill all the warm tones I've got going on, so I don't want to do that. So I'm just going to keep kind of adding this yellow, orange. Actually, this is getting there now. This is kind of where I had the gun holster before I toned it down, then brought it back up again. So we're actually, it's not too long of a video, 20 minutes maybe. Spent a lot of time in the gun holster because I was fidgeting trying to figure out, oh, how do I make leather? And then I kind of stumbled upon the stippling. It's getting there. So now what I did, I got this. This is pretty good. I'm pretty happy with this. Is pretty much like the base, but it's still flat. So then what I did is I took some black. I already got some out there. So I took some black and my initial base color, the burnt umber, and I made a really, really dark brown. So I got black and burnt umber, mostly brown and a little bit of black. Not that you can tell because my palette's an absolute mess. Right there. That's about what I want. And now I'm going to do is I'm going to go add some shadows. So I'm going to start shading kind of. So I got a little bit of paint on here. Oops, it's too wet. Actually started to pull up paint. That's not what you want to do. You don't want to pull it up. You want to add. Let's stipple it first. There we go. So I'm adding a little shadow right there. You see it right there? And we're going to do that in all the kind of where there would be the recesses. This part takes a little while. There we go. And if it gets a little heavy, you can bring it out, stipple it, and you can blend it by stippling it, right in the recess, right there, and you can kind of bring it out. This helps give it some more shape too. Found that out. Sorry. Sometimes I forget that I'm on camera. I need to get this like pointed towards the camera so you guys can see what I'm doing. So now we're getting some shape to this. Again, I'm not covering up my previous work. I'm just adding a layer on top of it. I'm not worried about hitting the highlights too much because I'm going to dry brush this again at the very end. Now we're getting some shape to it. Now it's starting to look like it's worn. Get just the teeniest tiny bit of water. Too much. My brush soaked up a ton of water. Now I gotta dry it out. I actually need a little more burnt umber on my palette. And on this, I'm not adding water to it all. I'm pretty much using the watercolor straight. Mix it up, take it off. So this sheath has like some wrinkles and folds in it, and that's where I'm hitting with the shadow color. See there? It's looking really good now. It's getting there. Really, really stoked how that gun holster turned out. And this is looking really good too. Let's bring that over there, see if we're getting kind of close. Yeah, once I dry brush this, they'll be really similar. And it's okay if they're not exact. I do want them similar though. Let me gonna come back and dry brush this with that yellow ochre and a little bit of the brown and white, and it's gonna pop. And I'll get the back side too, even though we're not gonna see it when it's on them, but we know it's done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this. I'm going to show you this process. I'm going to pause. I'm going to bring I'm going to clear my workbench and bring the Punisher over and show you where he is, because he's getting there. He's looking good. Okay, so I'm really happy with this now. I got some nice shading going on. Now what I have over here is this color right here. That was my highlight color that I just mixed up a little while ago, and I did on the gun holster. It's dried out, but I'm going to reactivate it and use it again because I really like it. Worked out perfect. It was a good mix of the yellow. And I forgot who mentioned it in my Facebook post. He's like, you need a latte color. And that's like the perfect description of a color, because that's what I got here. This right here is like a nice picture, like latte value. I'm just going to reactivate it with some water. And we're going to take most of it off. And let's see. You'll know pretty quick if you got too much on there. So I need to mix up some more color because there's too much water and not enough paint. So a little of the yellow. And I think I did. I think I had that. I don't remember what I used. I know I added a white to it at the end of it. I think I just used the brown and the yellow. And then I used a white to lighten it up. So once I get done with the Punisher, my awesome client who sent me a lovely email said, hey, I know I know you were trying to get the Punisher done before Wonderfest. Don't worry about. He's like, he wanted to reassure me that he's in no hurry for his Jag Doggos, so which was super nice of him, because I replied like I had no plans on trying to get another kit done before Wonderfest, but I got this and I got obsessed with it. So he was really nice to send me that note. So yeah, good guy. I'm lucky to have clients that are like that. A lot of guys be like, "Why aren't you working on my kit?" Okay, so that's the color I want right there. Again, I really don't want it watered down. I want it pretty much straight paint. There we go. Yeah, we're getting somewhere. Looking pretty good. So this goes on like that, yeah. This is the top. So this will get the most light. Ah. But we're gonna hit the whole thing kind of overall. I'm sorry it's not in focus while I'm doing this, but I'll just pause it once and I'll show you what's coming. It's looking really good. Really, really nice. So about 30 minutes, exactly kind of what I thought. Let's see what it looks like compared to the gun holster. Pretty damn close. I'm really happy with how they both look. All right. So I think I'm gonna call this guy done. And I'll seal him up. Yeah, he looks good. So I found out how to do leather tonight. Pretty cool. I'm gonna put that on the side. And I'm gonna put this on the side for a second. Actually, I can just clean up and do this while I'm on camera. So all I have to do is clean up what I was just working with to make room for Mr. Punisher and everything. I'll have to do a reorganization of my workbench tonight because it is. When I get going on something, the stuff goes flying everywhere. I had to tear down, I had to just take a break and tear down all my airbrushes the other night and clean them because this is going all out on painting and stuff, and they were just not spraying well because they just needed to be broken down and cleaned. I don't know, there's my trash can. Okay, let me get some gloves on since I was just painting, and I'm going to be taking him apart to bring him over here. All right. So let's see. Bat. I'm going to try to get the bat painted tonight and call it a night after that. Tell you what, these magnets I'm using are strong. I glued the gun to the hand, or the hand to this arm now. It's one piece. Actually, I need to do this. Let me put this there. I'm gonna take this zombie out for now. Because I want to keep him on the turntable so I can turn him for you. I'm real careful. I can carry this over here with the legs on it. All right, now I'm going to camera shake again as I put this on a tripod. Okay. All right, so now let's build them. All right. So since last night for the base, I masked off Negan, painted him black, and then actually went ahead and did a little misting of pearl black, which kind of gave it another texture, a little shimmer to it because it's leather. And I dry brushed them with some watercolors. I'll probably do another level of dry brushing. And I may do some of that stippling since this is leather, and I kind of found out that really works well. He needs a little more dimension. He's looking a little flat. So let's get... Actually, I got to take him off first. I have to put on the zombie. All right. So zombies I worked on last night. I'll look over those real quick. And they don't look like much right now. But there's a ton of colors going on in here. There's blues, there's greens, there's reds, Before I did anything, I did a lot of paint flecking to give it some texture. And I did that with like reds, yellows, oranges, blues, all sorts of stuff. And then I went back and I base coated it with that, the same base coat I did on this part of Negan. I did it with a Garage Kids Colors tongue, and that's a great base for the flesh. So with all the transparent reds, you get that nice kind of, you know, wet, bloody flesh look, and that's how I got this right here. It's base coated with Garage Kids Colors tongue, and then I used Jesse's blood and gore set, and man, I'd never done blood before, but it made it fairly simple to do it. And now I'm noticing where Negan stands, it kind of puts an imprint there, but that's going to happen eventually because this has been gloss coated with lacquer, but that's a lot of weight and it's going to leave a mark, so nothing I can do about that. So this guy's going to go here. And so for the next step on the zombies, I need to work on bringing out all that detail. And I'm going to do probably some sort of wash on them. That goes there. That goes there. Let me back up. Put torso on. I know you guys have all seen this before, but it's actually looking pretty good, looking like something with the base. So the base, I have a question for people if you watch this. The blood is actually like on a stone base, and I contemplate just leaving everything bloody, or I could go through and I could pick out all the stone area and paint the stone. I'm not sure. I kind of like it all bloody. I don't know. It may look really nice with the stone, but right now I'm kind of thinking I like it. So I don't know. Let me know what you think. Bloody or show some of the stone. So I glued the hand to the arm, so now the gun sits in the right spot. You can see there. Sorry, dropped my hairdryer. Okay. And, oh, what's next? The bat. I'm going to try to get the bat painted tonight and call that a night. Or get some of it painted. I'm going to get the whole thing painted. So that'll be a bunch of steps. And then our awesome gun, I'm going to paint I think what I'm going to do tonight and call it in is paint the handle of the gun and the handle of the knife. And then the knife comes back here. And there he is. Looking pretty cool, if I do say so myself. Yeah, it's an impressive piece. It's cool. So far, I really couldn't be happier with how he's looking. I mean, look at the knife on the back there. Really stands out now with that leather treatment. It's really, really good. And if we turn it around this way, and when I paint the handle of the gun and the handle of the knife, those will stand out. Those will go into metallic. Really good. Looks really good. Just stands out real nice. Nice I'm glad I didn't leave those black leather. It's just been another element of black. I like having the brown. Just kind of stands out from him. But man, looking pretty wicked, if I do say so myself. Oops, what happened there? That was weird. Let's see. Pause. Anyway, that was weird. I have to splice this in. I did something and the screen went all wacky on me. So that's where he is so far. Looking pretty good. Once I get the zombies done, then I'm like really in the home stretch. Hopefully I'll get those done over the next week or so. But again, really my big decision is the base. Do I leave it all bloody or do I go in and try to pick out all the stone? I mean, because it's kind of everywhere. But I'm kind of liking the bloody base. I think it looks pretty gruesome. But anyway, as always, I want to show you the plate. So I mentioned in my last video that I was just going to paint this, and I did. So I based it all in black, highlighted it with white, and actually went in and I hand brushed all the red, all the gray, and all these areas with the hand brush with the watercolors again, because that's easy. I was easy to clean up, and then it got flat coated. So what I'll probably do is I'll probably do like a blood splatter on this, and I need to kind of bring out these cracks, but I'm gonna just put this as a plaque next to it on a plate stand. But it's a nice way to just kind of, you know, tell you what the kit is, who the sculptor is, what number of the edition, and all. It gives you all the information on the kit right there. Pretty cool. And it saves it so you got the signature. So normally this would go on the bottom, but I decided to do this and leave it as a display next to it. But as always, Matt Mrozek, aka MVM397, signing out. Hopefully you guys learned something with the leather technique, because I did. Just kind of figured it out and it worked. And we'll catch you guys next time. Bye.